Good evening, folks. So sorry, took some 7 minutes of your time. So we'll just start in the next couple of moments. All right. So I hope all of you are set for your AFCAT examination tomorrow, starting from tomorrow onwards. So I don't think all those of you who are having your papers tomorrow, kindly don't study. Okay. All those of you who have papers tomorrow, you might want to drop off, shut down all the social media, all stuffs, right? I only want people, those who have their papers on 24th, to be here, right? Rest all others, please sleep off, right? Thank you so much for joining, right? I don't want you to study late in the night over here, right? Okay. All these subscribers and views, all this will happen. It's not a big deal for me, right? Okay. Just take care of yourself. Wind up everything, right? It's YouTube, or you might be scrolling Instagram and stuff. Kindly, get that stuff done, okay? And be prepared with your, admit card, photographs, and papers and all that, okay? And couple of ID cards and all that, okay? In the comment section, you can let me know, right? Okay? In which particular shift and which particular date you got your exams, right? So without any further ado, let's get started over here, right? Okay, right. So we'll get started with general English. So this is a error detection type question. David thinks, right? David thinks himself, right? David thinks of himself, right? That's where the error is, right? So in the first one, the error is in B, right? The correct usage over here is David thinks of himself as a great scholar, right? That's the correct usage, right? I have never cheat, and I will never cheat you, right? I have never cheated, right? Okay. Again, this is the correct usage over here, right? Okay. As I've always been telling you, right? You have to read out this sentence clearly, right? Loudly, and so as to, and also listen to that, right? And when you listen to that, and you will see that there is some underlying friction. If there is any friction when you listen to the sentence, when you speak, then you should realize that there is a mistake, right? Okay. And if it sounds pretty much lucid, then you should conclude that the sentence given over here has got no errors, right? The capital of Vietnam is situating, right? Do you think this is the right option? No, situated, this is the right one, right? So question number 3 also, B is the B, the error is in B, right? Okay. Rahul has always, right, looked left on, looked right on. These two are definitely not your right answer, right? And now over here, Rahul has always looked down on me, right? Okay, looked up, right? Rahul has looked, had it been up, right? Okay, if Rahul was some person who was a go-to person for all of your worries and stuff, so over there, the correct usage was Rahul has always been looking up to me. Right? Rahul has always looked up to me, right? So he has not been looking up, right? So Rahul has always looked down on me, right? Okay. Maybe a bit more correct answer was looked down upon me, right? Okay, upon me, right? So over here, as per the context over here, A is the closest answer for question number 4, right? My mother dash that little matter of my prison records again, right? Okay, right? My mother looked over, right? Looked over means ignore, right? Look over means ignore, right? Hold up, right? My mother brought up, right? Brought up means she brought up in the discussion all over again, right? Okay, so over here the correct usage is B. It was so hot that Harsh had to, right, take down, take off, turn down, right, turn up, right? Okay, it was so hot that Harsh has to remove his t-shirt, right? Okay, remove means what? Okay, right? Take off, right? Okay, right? Take off, right? Take off the t-shirt, right? Okay, turn up, right? Turn up the volume, right? Turn down means refuse, right? Take down means what? Okay, to destroy, right? So the correct answer is take off. Yes, exactly the one that you are thinking about, right? Airplanes taking off, right? This is the correct answer over here, right? Okay. Now alternative correct adjective form, right, for the word breeze, right? It's not breezed, it's not sea breeze or breezes, it's breezy, right? Which is the correct over here adjective. Easy. Stick, right? It's not sticking, sticking is V4, right? Stuck is V3. Stiff obviously is not the right one. Question number 8, B is going to be your correct answer, folks, right? Okay, we have solved this one, right? But we are solving it again. India's history and culture are dash, right? Spanning back to the beginning of the human civilization, right? Okay, so what? India's history and culture are lethargic. Is it inactive? Is it lazy? Right? Lazy, right? So India's history and culture are dynamic in nature, spanning back to the beginning of human civilization. It begins with the mysterious dash along the Indus River, right? Mysterious family, right? Was there a family along the Indus River? Was there a fight along the Indus River, right? Inelegance means ugly, right? Okay, which is not beautiful is called inelegance, right? Okay, so it begins with a mysterious culture, right? Mysterious culture along the Indus River and in farming communities in the southern lands of India. The history of India is punctuated by, and all that you can read, okay, right? The history of India begins with the birth of Indus Valley civilization, more precisely known as the Harappan civilization, right? It dashed around, right? It twirled, right? It halted means stopped, right? Withered, right? If it was withered, then why would we talk about, why would you be talking about that, right? Okay, it flourished, right? It flourished around 2500 BC in the western part of South Asia, what today is Pakistan and Western India. So this is what your correct usage over here, folks, right? Okay, now you have this passage type of question. As I said to you, my habit is to first read the questions. How can adult nurture children's positive self-esteem? That's the first question, right? Okay, and then how can you play a big role in helping children to be successful? This is the next question. Which type of parents are needed by every child, right? So this is the next question, right? 13, 14 and 15. We'll keep this question in the mind and we'll read the passage, right? Okay, guys, those who have your shift tomorrow on 23rd, right, kindly don't be here, right? Sleep off, right? These things are not that important for you. Whatever preparation you have done, you are done, right? Only I want you guys, all those who have your papers on 24th, to stay back. Others, please sleep off, right? No need to strain yourself, right? Okay, we are just practicing only, right? Okay, so a parent's love and care, okay, determine how a child grows up and how. So obviously we are talking about what? Love and care, right? Okay, how a child grows up and how a child is eventually parent, right? Adults can nurture children's positive self-esteem, right? There's a question about that, by helping them discover what they are good at doing, right? This is an important point. Part of a child's self-esteem is more like a self-confidence, right? Comes from feeling competent, right? Competent means worthy, right? Okay, and skilled at something they enjoy, right? By creating opportunities for children to explore different objects, activities, and nurturing those interests, you can play a big role, right? How can you play a big role? Right? How can you play a big role? By nurturing, right? By nurturing, this word is important, right? A big role in helping children to be successful and feel good about themselves. The early years are when children show personality traits and preferences for what they like and dislike. By planning opportunities, right? By planning, this is also an important point. By planning opportunities with children's unique personality style in mind, you nurture their positive feeling about themselves. Every child, right? Now this is also an important point. Every child needs a parent who can notice and appreciate their special qualities, right? Okay, when siblings are involved, right, when the brothers and sisters are involved, trying to treat each other equally usually backfires and undermines children's individuality, right? Okay, so how can adult nurture children's positive self-esteem? By not helping, right? This is absolutely wrong one. By avoiding them, right? By sending them to school, nowhere we have talked about that. By helping them discover what they are good at doing, right? How can you play a big role in helping the children, right? Over here, by you can play a big role, right? By what? Nurturing their interest, right? By creating opportunities for children. This is also we have talked to explore different objects, activities, and nurturing those interests, right? Okay, by ignoring their talents, by scolding, right? By getting furious. Absolutely, these are the wrong answers, right? So children have to be treated like children, right? Okay, you can't treat them right, you cannot lambast them for no reason, right? Okay, anyways, okay, so what type of parents are needed by every child? Who can notice and ignore their special qualities, right? Who cannot notice and appreciate, right? Who can afford and give them luxurious life? Nowhere they have talked about luxurious life per se. Who can notice and appreciate their special qualities, right? Question number 14. D is what we're going to be. Over here is the correct answer, right? A disease which spreads with contact is called as contagious, right? It's not poisonous. Endemic, the disease which is endemic means which is contained in a particular geography is called endemic, right? So that's the meaning of endemic over here, right? Contractual, absolutely. This is out of context over here, right? Okay. So next one over here, we'll move on. A group of birds of one kind, right? It's not called bevy, right? It's not crowd or it's not band. Okay, band of brothers, right? Band of robbers. Flock of pigeons. This is what we tell, right? Okay. So for question number 16, C is what going to be the correct answer, right? Cool your heels. So idioms and phrases. Be told by someone to wash your feet, right? The first thing you should understand over here is that literal meaning is definitely not your right answer, right? Unwillingly wait for someone or something, right? Something or someone. Do regular exercise to keep yourself fit. No. Take off your footwear. These two are A and D are literal meaning, so damn sure these two are not the right one, okay? Cool your heels means unwillingly wait for something or someone over here. B is the correct answer, folks, for question number 17, right? Okay, most appropriate, again you have 18 and 19, right? Your question number 18 and 19, you have got idioms and phrases. Give accuracy to, right? Give currency to, give currency to provide someone with money. Again, literal meaning, which is damn sure wrong. To make something seem more credible and probable, right? So if you are giving currency to it, right? To play dead or none of the above. Over here is not the right answer, okay? To hold something in leash, okay? To hold something in leash means to, not to disappoint or to dismiss, right? To discourage, right? If you are keeping something in leash, right? Okay, let's say you are, your parents are keeping you under leash, right? Let's say you are a women candidate and you do not, and your parents tell you, hey, why do you want to go for army and stuff, right? Okay, military and stuff, why don't you go for medical engineering and all that, okay? So that means they are saying they are holding you on in the leash, right? Okay, it is kind of discourage, yes, okay, the sense is to discourage, but a more correct answer over here is to restraint, okay, to restraint, right? Again, as I told to you, whenever 50-50 scenarios like this come up, I would highly encourage you guys to take risk, right? Okay, please take risk over here, right? Okay, so this is the correct answer for your question number 19, right? So now moving along, okay, moving on. Ostracize. Ostracize means, okay, to be thrown out from the society, right? So over here, correct answer is banish, right? Banish means to be thrown out of the country or society in general, right? Okay, belittle means what? To disrespect, right? Okay, begul, right? Begul means charm or enchant, right? Okay, and besiege means surrounded by armed forces, right? Okay, the fort has been besieged, right? So the fort has been it has been surrounded by the military. So this is what you mean by besiege, right? Facade. Now the next question 21 is facade, right? Facade is your outer appearance, okay? Outer appearance, right? Okay, so over here interior is definitely not wrong answer, right? Okay, facade also means there is a home, right? In the home there is something like this, right? In every home there will be something like this, right? Okay, or in the window there will be window sill, right? So something like that for the home, right? So over here that can be thought as frontage, right? It is not, facade is not ceiling, right? Okay, it is not, it looks correct like it could be elevation, right? Okay, but the more correct answer over here is frontage, right? Frontage means, right? Okay, frontage means how exactly is the overall appearance is from outside, right? Overall appearance from outside is called as the facade, right? Patronage, right? So during the Gupta and the Maurya period, right, the Jainism and Buddhism got a hell a lot of patronage, right? So it was not a collaboration, it simply means support, right? It's not a cooperation effort, or it's not even a business, right? Patronage means simply support, right? Is the over here is the correct answer, right? Okay, now question number 23, it asks about the opposite in meaning, right? Opposite in meaning, musty, right? Musty means stale, right? Musty means stale odor, right? Musty means stale smell, right? So obviously the opposite of it will be not expensive, right? Opposite of this will not be your fine as well or clean as well. The opposite over here is going to be, for question number 23, A is what going to be the answer. Okay, vivid means clear, okay? Vivid imagination, right? Clear imagination, right? Aspirants have the vivid imagination of them in them wearing the uniform, right? Okay, so vivid means what? Okay, it's not dramatic, it's not evocative, something which evokes, right? Okay, right, some feeling or something, right? It is not lively. The opposite of vivid will be vague, right? Vague means unclear, right? Okay, austerity. Austerity means simply simpleness, okay? Simpleness is austerity over here, right? Okay, simplicity is called as the austerity, right? So sternness, absolutely right, sternness over here is not the right answer. Grimness, grim means sad, this is also not the right answer. Mortification, right? Okay, again mortification, mortal, right? Something related to death, right? So absolutely this is not related to that. Okay, superfluity, right? Somebody who is superfluous, right? Where there is no depth, right? There is no depth, right? Someone who is austere, who that person will be simple, that person will be having a lot of depth in them, right? That person will be learned person, that person will have a lot of confidence, right? That will be exuberating in their talks, in their appearances, in their actions and all that. Okay, then the opposite of it over is a superfluous person who does not have austerity, right? Okay, who is just gobbledygook, bombastic type, pompous, right? Showy, right? All of these are the synonyms of superfluity, right? Okay, quickly let's move on to general awareness as well. Dash was the first host country for the FIFA, right? The first host country, and also the winner of the FIFA World Cup of the first edition was Uruguay, which in the final defeated Argentina by 4-2, right? Okay, Deepa Malik, the first woman to win a gold medal in Paralympic Games, is associated with which of the sport? Okay, so Deepa Malik has been a winner of medal in each of these categories, right? Okay, in Paralympics the categories are more granular, right? F35, right? F30, right? A30, something like that. Okay, all of those codes are given over here, right? Okay, so she has been competing in javelin throw, discus throw and shot put, all of this. So over here D is going to be the correct answer for this particular question, folks, right? Okay, so all those people, those who are blind, so they will be grouped into one particular category. All those athletes, those who have, let's say, one leg, so they will be categorized into one particular category, right? Okay, those who have, let's say, one hand, so they will be categorized into one particular one. Okay, those who are completely paralyzed, okay, so they will be classified into a different category. So that's how this happens, right? And that's how India has happened to won more than 20 plus medals in one Paralympics. Okay, right? as against the the Olympic Games, wherein India has really been struggling to to gain medals. But in this case, in Paralympics, India has been extremely successful, right, as compared to the the normal summer Olympics, right? Okay. So where's the headquarter of International Maritime Organization? The International Maritime Organization, the headquarters of it is located in London. Okay, right? So that you have to keep in mind. Okay. Which of the following is a west flowing river? Right, west flowing river, right? Godavari, right? Godavari. Mahanadi is in what? Odisha, right? Krishna, right? Krishna, right? Okay, Godavari, Krishna, Godavari, all of these are east flowing river, right? Narmada river, which generates in Amarkantak, right? In Madhya Pradesh, right? It's a west flowing river. You have to keep that in mind. Okay, absolutely sitter question, I must say, right? The capital of Croatia is nothing but your Zagreb, right? Okay, and Dubrovnik is also a city in Croatia, but which is not a capital of Croatia, right? Okay, Poland capital is Warsaw, and Ukraine capital is Kiev, right? Okay, so over here the answer is Zagreb, right? Which type of iron is also termed as brown ore, right? Okay, limonite is called as the brown ore, right? Okay, so this is medium type of iron, right? The best kind of iron over here is hematite and magnetite. Okay, right? Okay, then the third best type, hematite and magnetite, they are like kind of same. They have like close to 70 to 75% of iron content in them, right? Okay, so look for them, which one. I think hematite is the best one, right? Okay, and then comes the magnetite, then comes a limonite, and the lastly is the siderite, which is the very low quality of iron, which has got like close to 20% of iron in them, right? Okay, the Japti or the Hasla system was introduced by who among the following, right? So the Japti or the Hasla system was introduced by your Raja Todarmal over here. Over here is going to be the correct answer, folks, right? Who became the acting Prime Minister of India after the death of Jawaharlal Nehru, right? So Gulzari Lal Nanda became the acting Prime Minister, right? Over here, right? Who became the acting Prime Minister after the death of Jawaharlal Nehru in 1964, right? Okay, so it's not, the answer is not. Morarji Desai was the Prime Minister, I think, to die in the office itself, right? VP Singh came later, right? Okay, I think VP Singh was president, right? Charan Singh was also, he also came later on, right? Iron Man of India, everybody knows that Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel is called as the Iron Man of India for the very fact that he has played a very instrumental role in ensuring the unification of the different princely states of India, right? Okay, annexation, not annexation, the integration of Goa to India and also multiple princely states, right? So Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, he went on to speak with the princely states, right? India happens to have like 550 plus princely states, right? Okay, so like 550 kings in India before independence, right? Okay, so Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel was the person who went to each of them, right, and he told them that, hey, you better join India, otherwise we will see to it, right? Okay, all right. Then question number 35 over here. 2016 Summer Olympics, right? Okay, 2008 Olympics were held in Beijing, China. Okay, 2012 it was held in London. Okay, 2016 Summer Olympics were held in over here Rio de Janeiro, folks, right? Okay, the latest version of 2022 or something 21 that was held in your Paris. Okay, right? Which the latest one, okay, right, along the Seine River, right? Okay, so it was held in Paris, right, the latest one, right? Which sports Rovers Cup and the Subroto Cup, right? Subroto Cup is associated with the game of football. This is the epic level, this is the highest level of inter-school tournament, okay, inter-school tournament, right? to schools like all those schools which are affiliated by Indian Public School Conference, right, IPSC, right, okay, the JNV Sainik schools, right, military schools, RIMCs, and all the top class schools across the India, they will come together and play, right, okay. The best of the Sainik school eventually get to play in Subroto, right, okay. Mostly these people come from Sainik school Imphal, okay, but that's not mandatory, right. Sometimes the Sainik school Nalanda people have also gone to play Subroto Cup, right, okay. So this is the highest level of inter-school football tournament, right, okay, right. So this is about the Subroto Cup, right, okay. Rovers Cup is also related to football only, okay. Both of these happens to be one of the oldest football tournaments of India, right, okay. Bhagwat Dayal Sharma was representing constituency when he was representing Das constituency when he became the CM of Haryana, right, okay. He was representing the constitution of Jhajjar, right, okay. Jhajjar is also a place from where many of the military peoples come, right, okay. So like you also have a place in Rajasthan called Jhunjhunu, right, okay, which like every family has got some military people, military officer, or maybe military soldiers coming in from there, and simply you have this place called Jhajjar from where you have so many military people coming in from this state of Haryana, right. Bhiwani is the place from which is very much known for sports, specifically boxing, right, okay. The first the boxer, right, okay, to win the medal over here, right, okay, Vijendra Singh also came from Bhiwani, Haryana, right, okay. The whole earth does not experience equal days and equal nights on, right, okay. 21st March and 23rd September are called as equinox, okay. On the days of equinox, the length of the day and also, right, the length of the day and length of the evening, right, okay, are equal, right. So over here the answer is 22nd December, wherein it is not equinox, okay, right, okay. So which of the following is the oldest Veda? Rig Veda over here is the oldest Veda, right, okay. So over here Sham Ved is about it gives about it's the rituals about the music and stuff, right. The present day classical music has been derived from the Sham Veda, right, okay. And Athar Veda, it talks about the charms and spells, right, okay, something like magic, black magic and all that you can say, right. Yajur Veda, right, you have to look, right, whether the present day of Ayurvedic practices has been coming from Yajur Veda or Athar Veda, right, okay, that you have to look, okay. You guys can also check and tell to me in my comments as to which one is the correct answer for that particular answer, right, okay, okay, right. So we'll move on to the next one, right. Which punter is associated with which particular game, right, okay. Punter is associated with which particular game over here, right, okay. Punter is associated with football, right, okay. American football. What do you mean by American football, right? American football over here is rugby, right. Punter word is related to rugby over here, folks, right. So rugby is the correct answer, right, okay, right. So who among the following was credited with the foundation of the city of Agra, right. Sikandar Lodi was the person who was responsible for giving a foundation to the city of Agra, right, okay. So over here D is what going to be your correct answer for this particular question, folks, right, okay, right. Next over here is stymie, right. Stymie, I think we studied this particular concept in the last previous PYQs as well. Stymie is a word which is related to golf, and your job is to know each of the words related to each of the games, right, okay. So now over here, right, okay. So Arctic Circle is correctly matched with 65.5 degree north of the equator, which is absolutely correctly matched. So A, it is 1 is going to be the correct answer, right? Dhubri, right? Dhubri is about your 26 degree north latitude, right? So this has to be connected with 4, right? Okay, so A1 and B4 over here, right? Okay, frigid zone is between 66.5 degree north to 66.5 degree south of the equator over here, right? Okay, so automatically D3 Tonga Island, right, which will be 20 degrees south of latitude, will be the correct answer for this particular question, right? Okay, which of the following city served as the capital of Raja Ranjit Singh, right? For Raja Ranjit Singh, right? Okay, it might seem like Amritsar is the correct answer, but no, folks, don't do that mistake. He had a palace in Amritsar as well, right? Okay, right? But that was not actually true, right? So which of the following cities served as the capital of Raja Ranjit Singh? The correct answer for this question is Lahore, folks, right? Okay, which instrument is used to measure the depth of the ocean? This is used, the instrument fathometer is used for measuring the depth of the ocean. So over here D is going to be the correct answer. Barometer measures the pressure, right? Barometer measures the pressure, right? Okay. Endoscope is like machine. It's a machine which is inserted in the body parts to take the images of the internal organs, right? Okay. Galvanometer, it detects the smallest amount of current, right, in a circuit, right? So these are not the correct answer. Fathometer over here is going to be the correct answer. Okay, the Governor General of the British Empire that has banned the sati practice, okay, the practice of sati, right? The person behind that was Lord William Bentinck, right? I'm sure you must be reading about this since the childhood itself, right? So over here 46, the person behind banning the the sati system was none other than Lord William Bentinck, folks, right? Okay. National Aerospace Development Administration NADA is official space agency of none other than not North Korea, right? It is the space agency of South Korea, folks, right? Okay, right? Okay. So NADA is the space agency of South Korea, exactly the way ISRO is of India and stuff, right? Okay. Gulf of Aden is definitely not in your Arctic Sea or Antarctic Sea, right? It is also not in the Pacific Ocean as well. It is in the Indian Ocean, right? Okay, right. If you look at the map, of Africa and the Middle East, right? Okay, there you will find, right, Gulf of Aden over there, right? Okay, so over here A is going to be the correct answer for question number 48, right? Which is the only paramilitary force in the country which has 06 Mahila ladies battalions, right? Ladies battalion is in CRPF only, right? It is not in ITBP or CISF or BSF either, right? Okay, so the Mahila battalion is there over here in your CRPF, right? Who among the following was the writer of Odyssey, right? Hammurabi, right? That is not the right answer. Hippocrates and Herodotus, these were the philosophers of the very old ages, right? Okay, philosophers of the old ages. The correct answer for this question is Homer, right? Okay, Homer has also written something called Iliad as well, right? Iliad and Odyssey was written by none other than called Homer, which is found its name in the Greek mythology, right? Okay, it comes from Greek mythology, folks, right? Okay. So quickly we have completed the 50 questions, right? Okay, so all of you have geared up for the mathematics questions now, right? Okay, so guys have geared up for the mathematics questions, right? Maybe I can have a 5 minutes of break, okay? Not 5 minutes, maybe 1 minute, right? Okay. Right, so the sum of money 24,000 has to be divided into 3 parts, right? Okay, the sum of money 24,000 has to be divided into 3 parts. A gains twice of B and B gains thrice of C, right? Okay, then find the amount which has been gained by, right, which has been gained by C, right? What do you guys think? Tell me. Okay, what do you guys think about this particular question, question number 51, right? Write down what you guys think about that. Yeah, what do you folks think about that? Yeah, what do you guys think about it, right? A sum of money 24,000, right? Okay, right? What do you guys think about this? A sum of money 24,000 has to be divided into three parts, right? Okay, A gains, right? A gains twice the amount of, right, B, and B gains thrice the amount of C, right? Then what is the amount that, you know, B has got? What do you guys think? Right? Okay, so over here, right, B has got thrice the amount of C. If I am saying C has got X, right, so how much has B got, right? So B has got 3x, right? Okay, and A has got twice of B, that means A has got 6x, right? So which means x plus 3x plus 6x is equal to 24,000, right? 1, 2, 3, which is your 10x, right? Which means x is equal to 2400, right? Then what is the amount of B, right? Amount of B is 3x, which is your 7200, is going to be the correct answer, folks. Easy, right? Question number 52. Let's move on over here quickly. Right, a man invests 3,500 in two parts, right? In the first part, invest on, right? Okay, in the first part, right? I'm saying the first part is X, right? 4% per annum, right? Okay, 4%, and for 3 years, divide by 100 plus, right, 3,500 minus X, right? Now this one is for 6%, right, into 3 divided by 100 is equal to 498. Okay, find the money which he has invested in 4%. Basically we have to find out the value of X over here, folks, right? Okay, so this is what, this is your 12x, right? 12x plus this is how much? We can say simply 18, right? So 18 into 3,500, 18 into 3,500 is 00. Simply now you have to do 35 into 18, right? Okay, so how much is this? Okay, 8 into 5, 44, right? And 24 and 5, 29, 29 plus 4 is 33, 3, right? 3, 3, 6, 630, right? So 630, right? Okay, minus over here 18x, and now I'm taking this 100 to the right hand side, which is 49800, right? Okay, so this is what you have, right? So now let's delete all of this over here, right? So what do you get, right? And if you get done with this over here, this is your minus of 6x, right? Okay, minus of 6x, right? Now if I take it over here, right, this is how much? 50,000, right? Just 200 less than 50,000, right? Okay, so this is how much? 13,200 divided by 6 is equal to X, right? Okay, so now if you calculate that, obviously 2200 over here is going to be the correct answer, folks, right? Okay, don't get bogged down by looking at the numbers, right? Okay, all right, let's move to question number 53, right? If the speed of A and B, who starts walking in opposite direction on a circular ground, right? Okay, A and B starts walking on the circular ground is 9 kmph, right? They are walking in opposite direction, right? Okay, in opposite direction, right? Okay, so is 9 kmph and 27 kmph. So A is equal to 9 kmph, 5 by 18 if I do, so which means 5 by 2 meter per second, right? This is the speed of A, right? Speed of B is 27 kmph, that means 5 by 18, this is 2 times and this is 3 times, okay, and this is a 15 by 2 meter per second, right? Isn't it? Okay, now how after then then find how much time they will meet. Okay, right? So they start at the same time, but in the opposite direction, right? Okay, they have to cover 2400, right? So time is equal to distance by speed. Since they are walking in the opposite direction, should I add these two? Right? Now 5 by 2 plus 15 by 2, right? Okay, which is your 20 by 2, which is nothing but 10, right? So this number is 10. So 2400 divided by 10 is nothing but 240. Second 53. A is going to be the correct answer, folks. Okay, a man sells an article on 280 and gets 40% profit, right? Okay, 40% profit, and then there's asking the cost price, right? So simply I can do like that, which is your 200 is the cost price, right? How exactly we have done this? I've taught you something called multiplying factor thousands of times, right? Okay, so I'm not going to teach it again, right? Okay, you are supposed to do this without even lifting your pen and paper, folks, right? So what will come in the place of what in the following questions so that it will be a perfect square, right? Okay, so can I take this as 11? So 11 square is 121. Again, can I take this number as 11, right? Which means plus 11 into what? Instead of what, I'm saying that it is x, right? Okay, plus over here is how much, right? Over here is which particular value, right? Okay, so yeah, how much should we add over here, right? So 0.03 square, it will give you how much, right? 0.03 square will give you how much, right? So 9000, right? This is what it will give you, right? This is what it will give you. So 121.0009 plus 11 into x, right? Plus 11 into x, right? Okay, so what do you guys think? How should we proceed from here, right? Okay, so now they are asking that this number is supposed to be a perfect square, right? Okay, if this number has to be a perfect square, right? Okay, then what should we do? Okay, if this number has to be a perfect square, right? Okay, so we have to find out the value of x over here, right? So this could be a B type of question for your examination point of view, right? Let me just okay, so they have given it in a different way, right? Okay, right? So yeah, so my mistake, we will just go back over here and let's look at these values over here instead of doing it in an approximation, right? Okay, is it like a square and is it like b square, right? Can we say like this is a square and that is b square, right? Isn't it? Okay, so it is your a square plus 2 is missing, right? 2 is missing from here, right? Let me write it over. 2 is missing, but a is already there. Okay, a is already there, right? Okay, so but also your b is missing. B is this particular value, right, which is your 0.03. No, this is not a b type question, this is an a type question. Sorry, my mistake, right? So 2a and b, right? Okay, so let me write b simply as like this, b only, right? This is the value of a and this is the value of b, right, without square, right? Plus 0.03 or simply b square, right? Okay, so what you are missing over here, you are missing 2 and b are the missing stuff. So 2 and b 0.03 are the missing stuffs over here. So we will go ahead with question number 55, A as the correct answer, folks. Easy, right? Absolutely easy one. Now let's read question number 56, right? A and B can do a piece of work in 8 days, right? Okay. If A and B can do a piece of work in 8 days, right? Okay. B and C can do the same work in 12 days and A, B, C can complete the work in 6 days, right? Okay, so this is what they have given. A and B over here, right? This is your A plus B, right? They are able to do the work in 8 days, right? And B plus C are able to do the work in 12 days, and A plus B plus C are able to do the work in 6 days. Find the required time in which A and C can complete the work, right? Can I assume total work as 24? If I am assuming total work as 24, that means A plus B are doing 3 unit of work per day, right? That means B plus C are doing 2 unit of work per day, right? A plus B plus C are doing, right? A plus B plus C are doing how much, right? Okay, 4 units of work per day, right? You know A plus B over here, right, are doing 3 units of work. A plus B plus C are doing 4 units of work. That means C is doing 1 unit of work per day, isn't it? Right, 4 minus 1. Okay, if C is doing 1 unit of per day, B is also doing 2 minus 1, which is 1 unit per day, right? Okay, and 1 over here, that means over here A is doing your 2 units of work per day, right? Okay, now they are asking how much time A plus C will take, right? C is doing 1 unit per day, A is doing 2 unit per day, so 2 plus 1 is 3, so 24 by 3 is over here. They are going to take 8 days to finish off the work, right? Easy, right? Isn't it? Okay, when 5 is added to 6 times a man's age 5 years ago, right? Okay, so I am saying man's age at present is X. Okay, when 5 is added to 6 times, right, 5 is added to 6 times the man's age 5 years ago, right? So man's age 5 years ago was X minus 5. Okay, right, if 5 is added to 6 times, right, so 6 times is this, right, plus 5, right? So this is what it means when 5 is added to 6 times the man's age 5 years ago. This is what we mean. It will be equal to 5 times the present age. I told you the present age is 5x, right? Okay, which is a 6x minus 30 plus 5 is equal to 5x, right? Isn't it? This is what you have. So now this is your 6x minus 5x is equal to, this is your 25, which means x is equal to 25, right? Find the age of the man 25 years later. 25 years later will be 25 plus 25, which is how much, right? 50. Question number 58. Let's move on to that. A man invested his deposit capital in a bank. His amount becomes 1,355 in 3 years, right? Means with simple interest, and 1545 in 4 years, right? So which means for 1 year we are talking about SI, right? So for 1 year his simple interest was how much? 1545 divided by 1355, which is 0, right, and 9, okay, and which is 109, okay, right? Okay, so for 4 years how much he must have gone, right? He must have got 760, right? 760 he must got, but for 4 years the amount is 1545 divided by 7 minus over here 760, right? So if 0, 8 and 785, A over here is the correct answer for this question, right? Okay, this is the advantage of you having your concept extremely clear, right? If you have your concepts very much clear over here, then this is how fast you will be able to do. Okay, maybe even faster than me, right? Okay, right? All right. Okay, the age of two male students are 20 and 24 respectively. If the elder one is replaced by a female, elder one is 24 one is gone by a female student who is half the age of the younger one, right? So the female student, the age is how much? 10, isn't it? Then find the new average. New average is how much? 10 plus 20 is 30. 30 by 2 is 15, right? Okay. All right. A person scores 80 runs in his 12th inning, right? Okay, and his average increases by 5. Okay. Then find the average after the 12 innings, right? Okay. Then find the average after the 12th innings, right? Okay. Isn't it? So now, how does it happen, right? How does it happen? Should I say up till 11th, up till 11th match, his average was, let's say, X, right? Okay. So total score he has got 11X, right? But in the 12th match he has scored 80, right? which means divided by 12, it will give you x, the average has increased by 5, right? So this is the value of that 5, right? So this is what is there. Okay, so now 11x plus 80 is equal to 12x plus 60, right? Isn't it? So now which is x is equal to how much? 20. So this value x is equal to 20, which was the average only up till 11th match, right? So after the 12th inning, his average will be how much? 25, right? That is where you will do the silly mistake after solving the question also, right? After solving the question, you will do silly mistakes, so kindly don't do that. Okay, kindly read the question properly and then make it happen, right? Then you work around the question accordingly, right? Okay, all right. I think all the guys, those who have their papers, they have slept off. Yeah, that's all I want. Yeah, no worries. Okay, so 125-meter long train crosses a man, right? The train is 125-meter long. The train crosses a man who is running in the same direction at the speed of 5 km/h, right? Okay, right, the same direction of a train at the speed, right? So man's speed is 5 km/h, which means 5 by 18, which is 25 by 18 meter per second, right? Okay, right? Now if it crosses in 10 seconds, right, time is equal to distance by speed, right? Distance by speed, right? Time they have given 10 seconds, right? Distance they have given 125, right? Isn't it? Okay, now they are all running in the same direction, right? So speed of the train minus 25 by 18 is what going to be the effective speed, isn't it? Okay, speed of the train minus the speed of the boy is what you have, and then you have to find out the value of t over here, right? Okay, you have to find out the value of t, right? Okay, the value of t is 10t minus 250 by 18 is equal to 125, right? Okay, so now over here you get what is the value of 10t over here, right? Okay, right? So 10t is equal to 125 plus 250 divided by 18, right? Isn't it? Okay, right? 10t, t over here is the speed of the train, right? So now let's calculate that. Okay, so we'll have to calculate that, right? Okay, so 18 into 5, right? I hope I did all the questions, all the stuffs correctly over here, right? Okay, so let me look at this 10, right? Distance, sorry, time is equal to distance. Distance over here is distance by speed, effective speed, right? They are running in the same direction, which means t minus, right, is running at the speed of 5 km/h, right? Okay, km/h into meter per second, it is your 5 by 18, which is 25 by 18, right? Okay, isn't it? Okay, so now which is your yeah, this is your what? 10t minus 250 by 18 is equal to 125 is what you have. Okay, right? Now let's do a little bit of we will write 250 by 18 as 125 by 9. Okay, right? 125 by 9. Okay, so 10t is equal to 125 plus 125 by 9. Okay, right? So this is 9 times and 1 times. Okay, 10 times, right? So 1250 by 9 is what is going to be over here, right? Okay, so 10t is equal to this, then t is equal to, right, so this one gone, t is equal to 125 by 9. Okay, now this is meter per second. Now we will change it into, right, now we will change that into km/h. To change that into km/h, we will do 18 by 5, this one gone, 2 times, this one gone, right, 25 times, right? 25 into 2 is how much? 50 km/h over here. C is going to be the correct answer for this question, folks, right? Okay, question number 62, a boat travels 30 km upstream, right? Upstream means against the flow in 4 hours, right? Right, so over here upstream the effective speed is how much? 7.5 km/h, right? Isn't it? That's why they are standing now, that's why they are traveling, right? Downstream, if they are able to travel in 2 hours, which means downstream they are traveling at the speed of 15 km/h, right? Isn't it? Okay, so the sum of the distances, sorry, the sum of the speeds, right, of the boat and stream, right, should be 15 and the difference should be 7.5. where exactly you have got that answer. Okay, you got that answer in D over here. In just any other option it will not work out, folks, right? Okay, 62 D over here is the correct answer. Okay, yeah, employ your lateral thinking, right? Okay, a man sells 30 meter of wire and gains selling price of 10 meter wire. Okay, right? Okay, and gains the selling price of 10 meter, right? Okay, find the gain percentage over here, right? Okay, what is the gain percentage over here, folks? Right? Okay, a man sells 10 meter of wire. Okay, right? A man sells 30 meter of wire and gains the selling price of 10 meter, right? Then the gain percentage of the man, right? What do you guys think in this particular question? What do you folks think about question number 63, right? Okay, are you guys there? Okay, only it's me. Okay. Okay, yeah, what do you guys think about this particular question, folks, right? Okay, question number 63, a man sells 30 meter of wire, okay, right, and gains selling price of 10 meter, okay, right? Okay, what do you guys think? What do you guys think about that? Okay, a man sells, right, 30 meter of wire and gains 10 meter wire, okay, and gains selling price of 10 meter wire. Then what do you think over here, right? Okay, question number 63. Okay, right? Right? Okay, so how exactly to solve this one? How exactly we'll be able to solve this one? Tell. Okay, so to solve this question, what you have to do, right? Okay, you have to do actual gain divided by total sold minus gain, right, into 100, right? Okay, so 10 by 20 into 100, the gain is 50%. Okay, if you did not understand this, let me make you guys understand. Okay, right? Okay, so I'm telling the selling price for, right, selling price for 1 meter is X, right? So selling price, right, SP, I'm talking about SP, right? SP of 10 meter, right? SP of 10 meter will be how much? 10x. Selling price of 30 meter is how much, right? It will be 30x, right? This is what is going to happen, right? So this is the selling price of 30 meter, right? Okay, now gain, right, gain is equal to how much, right? Gain is equal to 10x, right? Okay, now if gain is equal to 10x, what is the cost price, right? Cost price will be equal to this 30x minus 10x, no, right? Because 10x is the gain, right? If 10x is the gain, 30x minus 10x, that means 20x is the cost price, right? This is what you have to understand, right? So if you understood that, okay, think through it again, right? Go back and think through it again, right? Okay, if he has got the gain which equal to the selling price of 10 meter wire, right? So gain is 10x. Okay, then what is the cost price? Cost price is 30x minus 10x, right? Then only he has got a gain of 10x, right? Easy. So over here gain percentage is equal to 10x divided by 20x into 100. Over here also, if you solve this way, so 50% is going to be the correct answer for this question, folks, right? A number is multiplied by 7 by 6 instead of 6 by 7 by mistake, right? So I'm saying, let's say the number was 42, right? Okay, so this number was multiplied by, right, 7 by 6, right? Okay, so if multiplied by 7 by 6, it comes out to be 49. Okay, instead of what actually was supposed to happen, 6 by 7 was supposed to happen. Okay, 36, this was the actual, right? This is the actual, but this is what actually happened, right? So the percentage error, right? So the percentage error over here is what? How much? Right? Okay. The error percentage over here is how much? Right? 49 minus 36, right? Which is your 7%, right? 7 out of 36 into 100 over here, right? Okay. 100 is what going to be is the error over here, right? Okay. Right? So which is almost 325. 325 by 52, right? 325 by 9, okay, and number is multiplied by 7 by 6, okay, right? So a number, let's say 42 is a number which is multiplied by 7 by 6, right? Okay, right? Right? So instead of 6 by 7, right? Instead of 6 by 7, right? So 6 by 7 means 36. Actually 36 should be there, right? But the answer which has come out to be, that is your 49, okay. So 49 and 36 will give you 13, sorry, okay, right? So 13 over here, right? So 13 100, because eventually into 100 divided by 36, right? So this is your 9 times, this is your 650 times, sorry, this is your 18 times, right? This is your 9 times, this is your 325 times, right? So option number B is going to be the correct answer for this question, right? 64 gone. 65, x is thrice as efficient as y, okay, right? Okay, if x is thrice as efficient as y, so y is doing 1 work per day, right? X will be able to do 3 work per day, right? X can do a piece of work in 50 days, right? If x is able to do the work in 50 days, that means total of 150 unit of work is happening, right? Then the time taken, that means y will take 150 days to complete the work, right? Okay, then together they will take how many days, right? Together they are able to do 3 units plus 1 unit, 4 unit, right? 150 is the total divided by this 75 by 2, right? 75 by 2 is 37.5. Over there is going to be the answer, right? A man invests 20,000, right, at 20% compound interest, right? 20,000 at 20% compound interest. If the interest was compounded half yearly, right? Half yearly, that means the rate will, effective rate will become half, which is 10%, right? For 1 year, then find the total amount, right? Amount, you know, amount is equal to P into 1 plus R, right? You know the formula, right? R by, right, R raised to the power T, time period, because there will be 6 months and 6 months, right? Okay, or otherwise simply the whole entire Mahabharat you can write it as 1.21 also, right? Isn't it? Okay, right? I've taught you multiplying factor, right? So 1 plus 10 by 100 whole square, which is how much, right? Okay, 110 divided by 100 whole square, okay, right? Okay, hold on folks. Yes, absolutely, right? Okay, yeah. Right? Okay. So now if you solve for this, this is 1.1 whole square, which is 1.21. Now if you solve for this, right, you know obviously this is what is going to be the answer over here, folks, right? Right now the time is 11:11, folks, right? Okay, 2 of you enjoying the classes, right? A person sells a product at 360 rupees and make a 10% loss, right? If he makes a 10% loss, then obviously he bought it for 400, and if he wants to make 30% profit, then it should be sold at 520, right? Okay, come on, I'm not going to spoon feed you all, guys, okay, right? Okay, the average age of a husband and wife at the time of marriage, right? At the time of marriage, the husband and wife, the total age was how much? 46, right? After 4 years of their marriage, a child is born, right? After 4 years marriage, so after 4 years both are grown by 8 years, 4 plus 4, right? Okay, and then after 5 years, right, they will be grown by this, right, and they have a child. The child at the 5th year will be 1 more year old, right? This is your 10, your 57, right? 57 divided by 3, that this is the present age over here. 19 is what going to be the correct answer for this question, folks. Easy? Easy or tough? Easy or tough? Tell me. Yeah, I don't think so that is tough. I think for these papers, these are so easy that your cutoff will go 160 or something, right? You cannot expect this much easy question because your nowadays the cutoff is going 120 for general people, right? Okay, and 100 for engineers and all that. So obviously the paper level has gone high, right? So you have to be able to be smart accordingly as well, right? Okay, right. So rearrange the following. Question number 69. Okay, B stage. Okay, so can you think of it as diabetes? BETES. Okay, diabetes. Okay, diabetes, right? Okay, this one as THIGH, thigh, right? Okay, now this is your cancer, 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 right? And this is your asthma, right? This is your asthma. So obviously the odd one out over here is B, right? Hockey is to game, Rome is to Italy, India is to Hindi, right? It's not the national language of India, one of the scheduled languages, right? Pink is to Jaipur, right? Latin is to language over here is the correct answer, right? Hemoglobin is to red, chlorophyll is to green. Easy. Insomnia is to sleeping sickness, right? You are unable to sleep, right? Insomnia is to sleeping sickness, you are unable to sleep, right? Okay, then influenza is not blood pressure, it's the viral infection, right? Okay, sleeping sickness, right? Okay, influenza does not necessarily happens from common cold, it's definitely not the eye disease also, right? Okay, right? A B C D, right? Plus 3, right? From here to here, is it plus 3, right? Right? And F E F G H I, right? This is also plus 3. Y Z A B, this is also plus 3. Similarly A B C D, right? Okay, B C D is what going to happen over here. C D E F, right? So which means this is gone for sure. E F G H, right? So H is what going to come over here, right? S T U V W is what coming over here, right? Okay, plus 3, right? Okay, E F G H I and S T T U V W, right? The last letter has to be W over here, folks. Easy. Admire is to detest. Detest means hate, right? Detest means hate, right? So these two are opposite in nature. Therefore, gather is to disperse is going to be the correct answer, right? Okay, right? Accord, blunt, absolve, all of these are wrong options over here, folks, right? Okay. Question number 75. Time, Kelvin, second, and ampere. Which one do you guys think over here is the correct answer, right? Time, Kelvin, second, and ampere, right? Okay. Tell the answer in the chat box, folks, right? Okay. Time is time. Time is a scalar quantity, right? Second, Kelvin, second is the SI unit for time. Kelvin is the SI unit of temperature. Ampere is the SI unit of hi Arnab. Yeah, write down the answer, right? Okay. So ampere is the SI unit of your current. So question number 75, A is what we are going to go ahead with, right? Okay. Question number 76, right? Frog, salamander, toad, and salmon. Okay, right? Frog is an amphibian creature. Toad is the baby version of frog, right? Salamander is also an amphibious creature, while salmon is a type of fish which is a completely aquatic animal. This is not an amphibious, right? Okay, amphibians means living in both land and water, right? Okay, odd man out 77 and 78, right? Okay, 77 and 78. The number of pentagon 5, then 5 outer ones, right? 4, that means 4 outer ones, right? 6 over here, hexagon 1 2 3 4 5 6. Obviously D is going to be the odd man out, everyone knows that, right? Okay, how about question number 78? Yeah, Arnab? Yeah, new guys, those who have joined right now, okay, what do you guys think about question number 78, right? Okay, the number of arrows over here is 4 and side is also equal to 4, right? Okay, Look at this one carefully. Look at this one carefully. Arrow is in this direction. Arrow is in this direction. Okay. Number of arrow is 3 and the number of side is also equal to 3, right? Number of arrow is 4. Number of side is also equal to 4, right? Okay. Over here number of side is 5 but the number of arrows is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Okay. So the odd man out over here for question number 78 is B, right? Okay. B is going to be the correct answer, folks, right? Okay. This is an easy one. Obviously in the first glance itself you can see B and C is definitely not the right answer. It is not extended over here. So question number 79, A is what going to be the correct answer for this question, right? Okay. How about this one, right? You know this is not the right answer. This is not the right answer, right? Okay. But between B and D, which one do you think is the right answer? I'll show you. Okay. B and D, right? Okay. So what honestly what I feel, and I might be wrong, right? Let me be honest, right? What I feel, and I might be wrong as well, right? Okay, that yeah, I mean both could be the right answer, isn't it? Okay, both B and D should be the right answer. Okay, what I feel is that this cross is a little bit higher above. Okay, this is what I feel, right? A few questions will be like that. Okay, but whenever you come across 50-50, do take risk, no worries, 50-50, take risk. Okay, now in this 50-50 question, this will be a disputed question. Either it will be dropped. If it is dropped, then it will be dropped for everyone, or otherwise those who have attempted, all those who have attempted will get +3, right? Or those who have said either B or D, they will all get +3 over here, right? Okay, so you should have attempted this question, right? Okay, question number 81, right? Absolutely A is not the right answer, right? Okay, D is also not the right answer, right? Okay, now if you look at this, you have this whole line over here, right? So which means C is also not the right answer. B is what going to work out as an answer to this particular question, folks, right? Okay, 82, D is not possible, right? Okay, D is not possible, right? Do you have a triangle going down back over here? C is also not possible over here, right? Okay, do you have something like this, right, over here? B is also not possible, right? A is the correct answer for this particular question, folks, right? Easy. How about this one, right? You know A is definitely not the right answer, right? C is also definitely not the right answer. Okay, right? Now B will be rejected because there is something like this and that is not required. So question number 83 will go ahead with D as an answer. Okay, easy. Now let's come into the dot situation. Let's look at this dot. Okay, this dot means represents your rectangle only. Can you represent it over here? Yes, 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 we can represent the rectangle only, right? Now in the yellow, right, this dot represents your rectangle as well as this figure, right? Okay, hexagon as well as moon, right? Moon also, right? So can you denote it over here? Yellow, yes, we can denote it over here, right? Okay, but yeah, there is no intersection between moon and hexagon, which means C is definitely not your right answer. Okay, right? We can certainly denote it over here, right? Okay, we can certainly denote it over here as well, right? So B is definitely not your right answer. Okay, now we have one more, right, which is this one, which is right, it looks like Pokemon sort of stuff. Okay, 3/4 of a circle and your 3/4 of the circle as well as, right, the rectangle, right? Can you denote it rectangle and 3/4 of the circle alone? No, there is an interference of the hexagon, right? Okay, 3/4 of the circle and this alone, right? Rectangle alone? No, there is an interference of the hexagon, right? Okay, but over here you can denote your 3/4 of the circle as well as the rectangle as well. So we go ahead with 84, D as the correct answer, folks, right? Question number 85. What do you guys think? Question number 85, right? Let's move on quickly, right? Let's look at this one, right? This particular dot, it represents what? Okay, heart only, heart only, heart only, right? Heart only. But over here, when you see that, can you represent heart only? No, in D you cannot represent heart alone, right? Okay, now for this particular dot over here, right, this particular dot, we have arrow as well as a star, right? Arrow and star is alone, we have to denote, right? Arrow and star, we can denote it over here, right? Okay, arrow and star, right? Arrow and star, no intersection, which means B is also not the correct answer, right? Arrow and star, yes, we can denote it over here, so that is possible, right? Okay, now let's look at this dot, the middle dot over here. Let me write it in red. Okay, this middle dot represents your heart shape, arrow shape, okay, pointing right, obviously, right, and as well as your rectangle as well, right? Okay, right, so you can now if you look at A, there is no intersection of, right, the heart shape as well as the rectangle, so which means A is not the right answer. C over here is going to be the correct answer, folks, right? Okay, now let's look at this one. This particular point represents your triangle, circle, as well as your, right, as well as your quadrilateral, right? Okay, triangle, circle, and quadrilateral, right? Okay, so triangle, circle, and quadrilateral, right? Okay, right, so triangle, circle, and quadrilateral, right, isn't it? Okay, so triangle, circle, and quadrilateral, maybe over here, right? Okay, triangle, circle, and quadrilateral, maybe over here, right? Okay, but over here there is your triangle, circle, and quadrilateral. Yes, we can denote it over here, right? Okay, now for this dot, in the dot red, you have to have one point which is undisturbed for the hexagon. Hexagon is inside circle, so this is not possible, right? Over here you can write, over here you can draw. D is also similarly not possible, right? Okay, now this point is inside your circle, diamond, and triangle. Okay, circle, diamond, and triangle alone, right? Okay, circle, diamond, and triangle alone, right? Okay, so which one do you guys think, right? Question number 86, right? Circle, diamond, and triangle alone, right? Circle, diamond, and triangle alone, right? Okay, so can you represent this circle, diamond, and triangle over here, right? Okay, circle, diamond, and triangle, yes, we can represent it at this particular place, right? Okay, but you cannot represent over here in C, right? Look at that a bit more carefully, you will realize. Okay, so we go ahead with 86, B as an answer, right? Okay, so now let's look at the easy one, right? You have pentagon, right? You have pentagon and arrow, right? Pentagon and arrow alone, pentagon and arrow, pentagon and arrow, right? Okay, no relation between pentagon and arrow. C gone on to a toss, right? Okay, there is a pentagon, but then you see it is interfered by your, heart shaped structure as well. Okay, right, now you have D shaped structure over here, let's say in red, D is alone, right? So D is alone over here, right? But then over here you see D is not alone, right? It has been messed up by either your this and this, right? So obviously A is going to be the correct answer, folks, right? Okay, question number 88, right? This dot represents your triangle alone, right? So triangle alone, you can represent it here, you can represent it here, you can represent it here, right? Triangle alone, you cannot represent it here, right? Okay, now this particular stuff over here is your, right, is your what, hexagon, right? Hexagon as well as triangle, right? Hexagon as well as triangle alone, right? Hexagon and triangle, you can denote it over here, right? Okay, hexagon and triangle alone is not there, it has been interfered by your rectangle, right? Okay, hexagon and triangle, right? Hexagon and triangle possibly you can denote over here as well, right? Okay, now this particular dot in black over here represents what? It represents your moon, right? Moon as well as triangle as well as hexagon, right? As well as your this, right? So the intersection of all of this, you see there is no intersection between the moon and hexagon, so we do away with that, and that same you can represent it over here. So D is what going to be the correct answer, folks, right? Okay, now let's move on to question number 89, right? So this first one over here, this dot is what? Your inside this dot is inside your pentagon as well as uh, square, right? So pentagon and square alone, right? Pentagon and square alone is required, right? Pentagon and square, right? Okay, they are not alone over here, right? Okay, pentagon and square, right? Okay, pentagon and square, you can draw it over here, right? Okay, pentagon and square, you can draw it over here, right? Okay, pentagon and square, right? You can possibly draw it over here, right? Okay, now let's look at the another dot. Okay, now this dot over here, right? This dot over here is what? Okay, this dot is what? Okay, right? This dot is outside, sorry, this is our dot is inside star as well as moon as well as pentagon as well as the square as well. Okay, so star, moon, pentagon and square, right? Basically all the four, right? Okay, so star, moon, you see carefully, if you see there is no intersection between the moon and the square, so which means B is not the right answer. No intersection between these two, so this is also not the right answer. So we are left with D as an answer. Okay, you don't have to worry about this particular dot, that is already taken care. Okay, now quickly let's move on to question number 90, right? Question number 90, can you draw a triangle, right? Can you draw a triangle, right? Can you draw? No, you cannot draw a triangle here, you cannot draw a triangle over here, right? Okay, but in A you can draw a triangle like this, right? So obviously for question number 90 the embedded figure is in your A, right? Okay, for question number 91, right? For question number 91, what do you guys think, right? Okay, so let's look at D over here. This is the circle, right? Okay, and in the circle you have like this and also like this. Okay, I don't think you can draw it anywhere else, right? Okay, so 91, D is what we are going to go ahead with, right? Okay, question number 92, what will come next in the series, right? Circle, then it came here, then it came down, then it came here, then obviously it will come over here, right? It will come over here, which is the only option over here. 92, C is what we are going to accept as an answer. Okay, right? Now let's look at this. This is your question figure, right? Question figure, this hexagon left, top left, right? Okay, now hexagon will be here, isn't it? Hexagon will be here, right? Okay, now this is also moving here, and this is moving down, this is moving down. Okay, so now this particular stuff will be here, right? This D-shaped stuff, right? D-shaped stuff and your hexagon in the bottom right corner, right? Okay, right? D, okay, over here this is not the answer. Okay, D-shaped stuff, then over here hexagon, hexagon, hexagon. That is what it is going to look like. Okay, right? All of these are correct. Now let's move on to this particular one. Okay, now this is also right, facing up, right? Okay, facing up, right? Now it has gone up, so it has come over here, it has gone over here, then here, right? So this arrow shaped stuff will be in the bottom left corner. Okay, arrow shaped stuff will be in the bottom left corner, right? Okay, so this is also the correct one. So now you have to decide whether it will be up facing or down facing, right? That is the only difference, right? This is same as this is same as this one is same as this, right? So the only thing that we have to worry about is, right, whether it will be facing up or facing down. Let's try to locate that. Okay, right? Okay, so this is what is happening over here, right? Now if you look at this particular one, okay, this sort of structure, it remains as it is for 3 figures, right? And in the fourth one it changed, right? Okay, but from here to here it changed. So 1, 2 and 3 times it will remain as it is, but the fourth time it will again change. So fourth time it will look something like that, right? And that is why for question number 93 we will go ahead with A as an answer to this particular question, folks. What do you guys think about question number 94. Okay, question number 94, folks, right? Focus on question number 94. Don't look at any other question, right? Okay, question number 94. What do you guys think? Tell me. Okay, question number 94, folks, right? What do you folks think about question number 94 here? Right? What do you guys think about question number 94? Write down in the chat. Write down in the chat, guys, if you guys are able to understand, right? Right? Yeah. What do you guys think about question number 94? Yeah. Yeah. What do you folks think about this particular question? Tell me, what do you guys think about the answer? Write down in the chat. Question number 94, right? Question number 94, folks. Right? Any idea about question number 94? Right. Okay. So it is 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, right? 1, 2, 3, right? Then again 1, then over here 2 will come, right? Okay. So over here 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 will come, right? So this is the series which is going over here in question number 94, folks. Okay, right? So let's move on to the next question. Question number 95, right? Question number 95 over here. Now this heart shape is moving down below, then right, then up, then again down below, right? Okay, this is moving up, then it is moving here, then it is moving here, then it is moving here. So obviously triangle will come above, right? Triangle will come over here, this heart shape will come over here, and this one will go down over here, right? So 95, C is the answer, folks. Easy one, right? How about this one, question number 96, right? Question number 96. Before I show you the answer, what do you guys think about the question number 96? Yeah. What do you folks think about question number 96? Yeah. What do you folks think about question number 96? Yeah. Think about that. All the question I will only solve or you will also solve. Right? You have also to solve. Isn't it? Right? Okay, to solve this one, question number 96, folks. Question number 96. What do you guys think about that? Okay, right? So these two are remaining as it is, right? These two are remaining as it is, right? These two are remaining as it is, right? So in the answer figure also, the middle wall will remain as it is, right? Okay, so middle wall will remain as it is, right? So if that is the case, then your B, C, D is gone already, right? Okay, question number 96, A is what is the answer. Okay, to be more precise over here, right? Now this remains as it is, right? This is changing, right? This one is changing, right? Isn't it? Now from here to here only this one is changing, right? Now this one is changing, right? So now only this one will change, right? Isn't it? So it will look something like this, 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 and this, right? And this and this, right? Okay. Closed ones, right? Two closed ones, and middle one will be as it is, right? Okay. Two closed type of bracket, and the middle one is remaining as it is over here, right? How about question number 96, 97, right? Bird, sparrow, and squirrel. Okay, right? Sparrow is a bird. Okay, sparrow is a bird. Squirrel is obviously outside, right? Okay. Vertebrate and non-vertebrate, right? Turtle will have to be classified either as vertebrate or non-vertebrate only, right? Isn't it? Okay. This is a vertebrate and this is a non-vertebrate, right? Okay. And turtle will have to be classified in only one of these two, right? Isn't it? So obviously question number 98, B is going to be the correct answer over here, folks. Right? How about question number 90, right? Navy, right? Navy, captain and commodore, right? Navy captain and commodore. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about Navy captain and commodore? Right? Navy captain and commodore. Yep. Tell me fast. Right? Navy captain and commodore. Right? Okay. So there will be captain in the Indian Navy, right? There is captain in the Indian Navy, right? Isn't it? Okay. Right? And commodore and captain has to be different. And you know, commodore can be air commodore as well, right? So commodore is in the Navy. So this is your Navy. This is your captain. Yeah, I know you will argue that now captain is in the army as well, right? Okay, right? So, but yeah, I mean, there has to be some, there has to be, some relation between this commodore as well. Okay, possibly we are talking about the, Navy, right? So commodore over here is in air commodore as well, which means we go ahead with C as an answer to this particular question, right? Okay. Now the next question, question number 100, which is the last and the final question over here for today and for your AFCAT, right, 2025 to prep, right? Okay. I wish you all the best, right? For that, honest, intelligent and poor, right? Honest, intelligent and poor, right? Okay. Honest person can be intelligent, honest person can be poor, intelligent person can be honest, intelligent person can be poor, right? Okay. So there can be varied amount of, right, honest, intelligent and poor. All these people can be together as well, right? Okay. So there is no exclusivity over here. So which is why we go ahead with A as an answer, right? Okay. So these are the answer options which you might want to go through at your own time, but yeah, only if you have time, right? If you don't have no time, I'm just showing you, right, so that you can pause and use it whenever you need it, howsoever you need it, okay? But I think you should not need it, okay? Right? Okay? They have made it much more complicated than I have actually helped you guys solve this entire paper, right? So thank you so much, folks, for joining, right? Thank you so much, right? Thank you so much for sticking with me through all of these 8 classes, right? The last 9 odd days, right? We did 8 classes, right? I wish you all the very best, right? Okay, all the very best for your AFCAT 2025 examination, right? Go and ace it, crack it with flying colors, right? Okay, don't worry about anything here and there. Your D-Day strategy should be rest to D-Day only, right? Okay, so don't worry about D-Day and stuff, and go and enjoy, sleep tight, enjoy, eat good food, healthy food, and get yourself going, right? Okay, so thank you so much, folks. I wish you all the very best, right? May you have the wings on your chest soon, right? Okay, even though for men it's only one vacancy, and for the female it's the more number of vacancies, right? Okay, so but still, right, I wish you the very best in your pursuit of life. Thank you so much. We will meet again with CDS PYQs soon, right? So thank you so much. Bye bye, good night, and Jai Hind.